Hafiday and welcome to Pacific Matters. Thanks for joining our KUM family as we take a closer look at news, culture, and lifestyle across the region. My name is Thomas Mangloña, and today on our show, we'll be hearing from the World Health Organization on the work they're doing in our region, especially during this time of COVID-19. We're also going to hear from CNMI firefighters helping California put out some wildfires that have been raging the region. And we're taking a big bite into Miss Catalina's multicultural cooking show. And here's a glimpse of our next guest and the story behind the Bent Spoon Cooking Show in Australia.
Hi everyone, talo falava, womajika, and welcome to the Bent Spoon, brought to you by Thorn Harbour Health. Now, food plays a really important part in our culture traditions. Food can bring you comfort, it can bring people together, and it can definitely tell a story. My name is Miss Catalina, and I'm your host.
I was born in New Zealand. My background and nationality is Samoan German. My father's German and my mother's Samoan, but I embrace my Samoan culture due to my mother's upbringing. From the day of my birth to the age of 15, I was brought up in New Zealand, then migrated to Samoa as my mother wanted to move back home. I identify as a proud Samoan whakawhine, but in Western terms that is called trans woman.
Talofa.
Talofa Catalina.
So Latoya, tell me, what are you making today?
Making a very famous Samoan dish, which is called palusami.
I can tell, it's my favorite.
Yes.
Yum, it's hot.
It's
That is so delicious.
Yeah.
So that's the one that I made.
No, you got to try it with the banana and the palusami.
Okay. Oh my God, that is so yum. And you said this is a vegan dish?
Yes, it's totally vegan.
Yeah. No animals were hurt in this?
And gluten-free.
That is really yummy.
Okay.
Well, thank you again, Latoya, for coming to the Bent Spoon. It was a pleasure having you on, and hopefully we'll have you on again.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mwah, mwah.
We're so grateful to be joined by Miss Catalina here on our Zoom room. And Miss Catalina, our viewers just saw a little bit about your first episode. Do you mind explaining that episode and what you did there?
Yeah, sure. So that was our guest there was actually Latoya. She's one of our trans advocates here in Melbourne and one of our elders. So she brought in a recipe called palusami, and it's basically, coconut leaf, not coconut leaves, sorry, it's taro leaves wrapped up in coconut cream with onions. And then it's like spinach. So when you bake it, you wrap it in foil. This is the modern version. And then you bake it for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then you take it out and it just looks like spinach, and it kind of has that texture, but has a different taste.
It was such a great episode. And for those of our viewers who might be meeting you for the first time, do you mind just telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I am actually an advocate or activist here in Melbourne, obviously the host of the Bent Spoon. I'm also the co-founder of the Trans Pride March Melbourne and the Trans Pride concert, which is the first for our state here in Victoria, and also an inspiring music DJ as well.
And for your program, The Bent Spoon, do you mind describing that program, how it started, and what your goals are there on that show?
Yeah, it basically started in the very first pandemic. It's produced by Thorn Harbour Health, and they wanted to create something during, during what was happening in the pandemic, to bring people together, so people don't feel too isolated. And so Jesse Wong came up with the idea, along with Murray Sayers, about a cooking show. So it was meant to be, you send in your cooking videos and then they just post it on YouTube. They edited it a little bit. That was the original concept. And then as they progressed, they said, oh, well, let's do an actual cooking show. Let's invite the guests into a studio and then they cook it. And then they realized, okay, it's missing something. It's missing a host. And that's, yeah, they already had a video of me and I was actually coming in as one of the guest cooks. I was, one of the contestants. And then they looked at my video again and they thought, like, let's get her to be the host. And so that's how I got involved. That's how the show started, and that's how I got involved as the host of the Bent Spoon. I guess the goal really is to get people to not feel isolated, feel connected. Like there is, it's really just representation of the LGBT multicultural community, to bring awareness, education, and really just to, and also basically to show our wonderful, amazing traditional recipes to share with everyone that's watching.
And one thing I love, when you opened the show, you said, food brings you comfort. It's about gathering and it tells a story. Can you explain a little bit more about what you mean when you say that?
Yeah, it's like, traditionally, like when I look back at my Samoan culture, when I look at my stories that my grandparents used to tell us, they used to sit around the fire, or, back in the day. And when they, usually on every Sunday, they do storytelling. They sit around and they cook and eat and tell stories about what happened before them.
That's all we have for today. Thanks for joining us on Pacific Matters.